to our info session for the 2026 Green Bay Sustainable Business Accelerator. Just going to get started here by quickly introducing SBC for those of you who aren't familiar. Sustainable Business Council is a nonprofit organization. We've been around for just about 20 years. Our mission is to accelerate the adoption of sustainability by integrating it into business strategies and operations to drive long-term impact. We do that through a variety of ways. Membership is one of our primary offerings to this community. Companies and sustainability professionals and individuals can join as members and tap into not only the community, but the suite of resources, educational resources, measuring and benchmarking resources, recognition, things like that we offer as part of that community. And then we also offer sustainability consulting for those companies who need to go further faster. But really our focus is on businesses and sustainability leaders. And so what we're here to talk about today is an exciting opportunity for 2026. And I'll jump into that in just a minute. But first, I should start with introducing myself. I'm Krista Kainanen, and in addition to my role with the Sustainable Business Council, I also chair the City of Green Bay Sustainability Commission. And so this Sustainable Business Accelerator is kind of a unique hybrid opportunity, kind of bringing together both of those roles. So like many communities across our state and nation, Green Bay has recognized that sustainability efforts are vital to our social, environmental, and economic future, and is taking steps to equip the community with tools and resources and guidance as we kind of collectively navigate this new and evolving landscape. And toward this effort, the City of Green Bay has established several plans to help reduce greenhouse gas emissions and improve climate resilience. And this Sustainable Business Accelerator really aligns with those efforts and those existing plans within the City of Green Bay by helping businesses establish foundational sustainability practices and implement nature-based solutions to help improve community outcomes. So this really is kind of a dual focus on helping the city achieve the results it's committed to through these existing plans, and then really equipping businesses to participate in that effectively, which is part of our mission as the Sustainable Business Council. So through a generous grant from the Drip Daybreak Fund, SBC is able to offer this opportunity and support this effort by hosting the Sustainable Business Accelerator cohort for free for up to 10 businesses in Green Bay in 2026. If successful, this may continue into future years, but it might be the only opportunity to plug into it for free. So if you're considering it, you're on the fence, strongly encourage you to pull the trigger and join us in 2026 and take advantage. So kind of digging into the details a little bit, what are we actually talking about here? So the Sustainable Business Accelerator is a hands-on, expert-supported cohort for businesses to measure and improve their environmental impacts, implement nature-based solutions, focusing on reducing costs and risks, and contributing to the community's broader clean energy and climate resilience goals. It's specifically for businesses with less than 500 employees operating in the city of Green Bay. It's going to be held, the cohort itself will be held between April and June. We're looking at every other week, so every other Friday, twice a month. I think there's one extra Friday in there, so it's not exactly every other. It's twice a month from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. The Green Bay Chamber of Commerce has agreed to host the event at their urban hub in downtown Green Bay. So it'll be really centrally located. We'll meet in person throughout the duration of the cohort. And really the purpose, the why for this is that local business leadership is essential to achieving Green Bay's climate and resilience goals. And at the same time, sustainability is a benefit for the businesses who would be participating. And double benefit for those businesses, it's free thanks to the grant from the Daybreak Fund. So really exciting opportunity. Um, a couple things that I'll pause here and add in because we've been doing this a long time. We've found that it can be really helpful to define our terms right away on the front end. So two terms that you're going to hear a lot throughout the duration of this that are really important are sustainability and nature-based solutions. So first, sustainability. Our definition as SBC of sustainability is a business growth strategy that creates long-term stakeholder value by seizing opportunities and managing risks related to a company's environmental and social impacts. So it's essentially helping companies navigate the changing social and environmental landscape to set them up for long-term success. So when we talk about sustainability and even call this the Sustainable Business Accelerator, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about helping companies more efficiently and effectively navigate those challenges to achieve long-term success, both for the business and for our community. And we talk about nature-based solutions. That means practical projects that use natural systems and processes. So things like vegetation, soil health, natural landscaping to manage environmental impacts like stormwater runoff, energy demand, habitat loss, while improving resilience for businesses and the surrounding community. So again, this is those two concepts, right? Business success through sustainability and implementation of nature-based solutions are really the core of what this program seeks to do. So the 2026 Accelerator is going to run, can see some specific details here. I'm going to run April through June. Bi-weekly sessions, 2 hours each. And through this program, participating businesses are going to be equipped with foundational sustainability practices across each one of the topics you see reflected here, including identifying their social and environmental impacts, right? So start with what even are our impacts? And then from there, identifying what the priorities are, right? And so not all sustainability impacts have equal priority. So understanding what your unique impacts are, what your priorities are, and then equipping businesses with the tools to measure and track their impacts, right? So we're putting metrics or data behind the impacts and then identifying nature-based solutions that can help your business improve its environmental impacts. So what are the impacts? What are the priority of those impacts? How can you measure or quantify what they are? And then how can you act to improve them? That's really what we're going to be focusing on. And in addition to some tools and educational resources, you'll also receive practical step-by-step guidance from program experts in a high-touch environment where you'll have support and coaching and access to a peer learning cohort. So not only will we be supported through establishing a sustainability management program, uh, your achievements will then be promoted and celebrated through the community. So some specific dates kind of to put to this framework would be step one, applying for the program. We outlined what some of the criteria are. We'll come back and touch on those again. But step one is apply. So in a couple of slides, there'll be a QR code you can scan, take you to the application page. We're going to accept applications right up until right before we start. It'll be about 2 weeks before we start, likely. We'll continue accepting applications. So if you think you might want to participate, we strongly encourage you to just apply. Even if you don't perfectly align with the criteria, apply if there's spots available. We'll fill the spots. So if it sounds like information that would be valuable to your business, please apply. Again, the cohort's going to run April through June. then between July and September, we ask participating companies to implement a nature-based solution that they identified through the cohort. And then we're going to celebrate achievements in October. I think there will be some partnership with other local organizations like Discover Green Bay, um, where we'll really celebrate and promote your achievements across the community. So that's kind of the timeline of what to expect from the accelerator. The other thing we want to dig into a little bit in this context is nature-based solutions. So kind of introduce the concept, but we are asking each participating business to commit to implementing at least one nature-based solution as part of what they receive from this cohort. Um, and so, we know that as you kind of go into fiscal planning and budgeting, this is something you'll probably have to plan for. And the extent to which you'll need to plan for it probably depends on what's going to make sense for your business. So a couple examples of, what we mean by nature-based solutions. One would be green stormwater infrastructure. So what you see on this graphic on the screen has several examples of green stormwater infrastructure, such as permeable surfaces, right? That can be permeable pavement in your parking lots, or it could be a walkway that is pavers or gravel instead of impermeable concrete. It could be a rain garden or a bioswale rather than a stormwater pond, for example, or just another catch basin. Um, all examples of green stormwater infrastructure that really act more like how nature receives stormwater rather than how, urban environments tend to receive stormwater, promoting a lot of runoff. It promotes infiltration over runoff. So one example of a nature-based solution. Another might be native planting and habitat restoration, right? So maybe that's if you're located on a riverway, right? Restoring the shoreline to its natural habitat, or planting native vegetation around your property. Maybe that can be green stormwater infrastructure and native planting, kind of dual benefit. Um, it can be things like, maybe you add a garden of native plants onto your property. So lots of different opportunities with native planting. Similarly, vegetation, right? A nature-based solution can be as simple as adding trees in a sunny spot on a side of your building to reduce to reduce cooling load in the summer. And then when the leaves fall off, it lets more sunlight in and reduces heating load in the winter, right? So strategically placed vegetation can be an example of a nature-based solution. Also, things like maybe you're a food-based operation. Um, you know, uh, Reclaiming nutrients from compostable waste and using it as a soil amendment somewhere on your property, or partnering with a local farm or community garden. Uh, it's an example of nature-based solutions. So there's a lot of options here, ranging from maybe significant infrastructure investment all the way to a light touch, kind of more community-oriented investment, with a range of, financial impacts associated with that. What we're asking is that participating businesses throughout the course of the cohort between April and June select at least one solution to implement, and then actually implement it in July, August, and September. Uh, and part of this is that this initiative aligns with the City of Green Bay's Green Stormwater Infrastructure Plan. So the city has already gone through all of the effort of evaluating, what the city needs to improve its resilience to things like flooding, and has specific areas that need some additional investment in this area. And they will be participating in this cohort as well to kind of share some of that information with you. And so this is another way that not only are you contributing to your own resilience and improving your environmental impacts, but also contributing to community-wide resilience as well. So let's zoom in a little bit more on what you get through participation. So some of the specific, let's call them deliverables. One would be a company-specific materiality matrix. Materiality matrix is kind of a standard way of graphically representing your environmental and social impacts and the relative importance of those impacts. So this is used really commonly in sustainability. We'll walk you through how to develop a company-specific materiality matrix and give you specific tools to help you do that as part of this cohort. We'll also provide some specific tools and resources to help you establish foundational baseline impact metrics around energy and greenhouse gas, water, and waste. Throughout this process, not only will you have access to the tools and resources to establish these foundational practices, we're going to coach you through it and give you hands-on support as needed with folks who have done this multiple times, helping multiple different companies from different, walks of their journey, go through this process. And then you'll also learn from your peers as well. A few more of the, let's call it maybe soft deliverables, but equally important, is making sustainability a little bit more understandable and actionable, right? One thing that we hear from companies a lot is that sustainability sounds great, but they don't really get it and they don't know where to start. So everything that we do will be designed to help break down sustainability concepts into something that you can not only understand with little technical expertise, but can really act on in ways that impact your business directly. Similarly, we found in working with many businesses that the biggest benefits of sustainability come when companies take an integrated and strategic approach. So we'll help you focus on your priority impact areas and take actions that are really targeted toward your highest impact areas. This is going to help build a strong foundation for your organization's long-term resilience in terms of environmental and social impact with ties to economic impact as well, and will really help you understand how all of those things work together. And finally, strengthening your reputation and trust with your stakeholders. Sustainability is all about creating value for stakeholders, and certainly as part of this, will help you establish that within your geographical community through aligning with some of these existing initiatives. So again, kind of summary of the logistics. Eligible companies are those with fewer than 500 employees operating within the city of Green Bay. One kind of significant non-negotiable here is that you have to have control over your facility land use because part of this process is installing a nature-based solution, right? That doesn't have to have a really big footprint. In fact, we find that nature-based solutions tend to be embraced more readily in geography restricted locations, right? Because they take up less space than some of the traditional, let's say, stormwater management options. So the ability to decide what happens to your facility is a core requirement. And then demonstrated interest in leveraging sustainability strategically. This isn't meant to be just a check the box exercise. It's really meant to be something that gives a competitive advantage to companies who are also doing their part to reduce their social and environmental impacts. What we ask from you is to commit to being in person, participating in all sessions. So sessions are going to run, these are the specific dates. Twice in April, twice in May, twice in June. We're doing it on a Friday. So it shouldn't significantly interfere with what, tends to get really busy during the week. Sessions will be 2 hours long. Between the sessions and let's call it the homework or the work outside of the sessions, we're looking for about 20 hours of total commitment. We ask that you participate, collaborate, and then establish those baseline metrics. So there will be some pieces where you'll need to, collect the data and plug it in and use the tools that we're offering, and then implement at least one nature-based solution, ideally in Q3. But if you have one that you're committed to, that you need a little bit more time on, that's okay, as long as we know at least by Q3 which one you'll be committing to. If all of that sounds good, scan that QR code there to apply. That'll take you to the website you see listed there on the screen, and you can access the online registration form from there. We're going to accept applications until the spots are filled. So we have a limit of 10 spots for this. We will be giving priority to businesses that are in areas, we call them sub-basins, that have been identified by the Green Stormwater Infrastructure Plan that the City of Green Bay has in place, because those are areas that are high priority for nature-based solutions, or that are located in or serving underserved communities. And we're going to accept registrations all the way up until the deadline. I think March 27th is a Friday and March 30th is a Monday. So we will notify you all no later than March 30th, before that first session of April 10th. Probably one slide back, April 10th. So we'll notify you no later than March 30th. And then we'll be starting by April 10th. So it's a quick turnaround, but we want to give as much time as we can to let folks hear about the opportunity and register. So with that, I'm going to pause for questions. I'll give folks a moment if you want to come off mute, raise your hand, type something in the chat, chance to ask questions.
I'll ask a quick question, I guess.
Yeah.
From a Little Rapids Corporation standpoint, I think we're at mature status in the Green Masters. So do you think we're farther along on the sustainability journey, where, not that this isn't beneficial, obviously it is, but not the bang for buck with the time commitment resources, or?
Yeah. It's a little bit hard to say. So what I will say is, in conversations, right, with you, I don't know how refined your strategy is, right? So if you think there's added value in going
Yeah.
through this process to really hone in on what your strategy is, and then, I know you're already measuring greenhouse gas emissions, right? Are you measuring waste and water use, right? If your answer to all of that is, yeah, we're kind of already doing those things, we've got those bases covered, then I wouldn't say it's a lot of added value to you. If for you, I know, like, Little Rapids is maybe unique in that it's not just one facility. Maybe you have, maybe you want to go by business unit, right? Or by specific facility. And maybe you have one that's kind of lagging behind. You have that for the company, but you maybe don't have that for a specific facility. You could have a specific facility go through it. So I would kind of defer to you. But the other thing I would say is, if you have, other businesses in your network or suppliers in the area that you're like, we would love if our suppliers were doing this and they meet the criteria, you can also promote it to them.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Krista, can I just add to
Please.
that? That let's see, my camera's here. Sometimes even going through it with a supplier can be added value for building the partnership and building the relationship, and maybe even projecting together, ideating together on ways you can improve, create new products, that sort of things. I just wanted to throw that idea in the mix because we've seen that be really successful. When a key customer and a supplier comes together to partner through something like this. So just another food for thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably reach out to maybe our sourcing person. I'm not sure how many vendors or suppliers we have in the Green Bay area. I think there might be a couple, so I'll reach out maybe. Thank you.
Yeah, and even just like I think sharing the opportunity with them, right? It costs you nothing, and they might be like, "Oh, okay." Like they're really supporting us in our sustainability journey, right? So it might just be an easy win for you in that regard. Cool. All right. Well, that's really all we have to cover. The QR code is here again. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or Jesse. Contact information right there. We're here to be a sustainability resource to, again, all stages of the journey, right? So, if something sounded interesting in this, but it wasn't necessarily the accelerator, that's okay. Let us know. Feel free to use the contact information anyway. And let's keep working together to build a more sustainable future for all.
Thank
And
you.
with that, thank you. Thanks for being here. And I wish everyone a wonderful weekend and a great rest of your Friday.
Stay warm.
Likewise.
See ya.
All right. Bye.